let's talk about George R.R. Martin for a little bit. We got Game of Thrones. We're all talking about the new show that we'll be going over here in a bit. He had a big interview with the Hollywood Reporter. There's a lot of things to discuss. What's coming up and what's going down. First off, yeah, he's working on the book. It just keeps changing. Right now, it's over 1,100 pages. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
100 pages? God.
Yeah, he says it's about 2/3 done, and it's 1,100 pages right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And one of the things he talks about how, and I'm totally at fault for this, is saying like, get your shit done, dude. Stop fucking around. You're gonna die soon. Get writing on the books. And he says like, one time somebody asked him that in the middle of a con. They're like, hey, so you're obviously not gonna live long enough to write this. Who's gonna write it after you? And he's like, that's so hurtful. And so I do kind of gotta stop being so cruel and being like, hey man, thank you for what you've done already. Finish the book, but we don't have to keep saying you're gonna die. So finish the book, but yeah. The other stuff is that, you know, for the Hedge Knight, for the Knight of Seven Kingdoms, they plan on 3 seasons, which are the 3 books that are currently out. George has talked about wanting to write 12 books. You know, we'll see how that goes. And then for the House of the Dragon, that's going to go 4 seasons. So we have the 3rd season coming out this summer. One more season after that. That's coming out in 2028. And then they're talking about doing the Sea Snake was going to get a live action series. Now it's going to be animated instead because the costs are so much better. And then they're going to be doing a play about Game of Thrones. And let me see, there was one more. Aegon's Conquest. So they're trying to decide on who will lead this. It'll either be HBO and it'll be a new series, or it'll be Warner Brothers and it'll be what follows Dune after they're done telling the Dune stories. And they'll use like the Dune budget for Aegon's Conquest. Squeaks, being somebody who's read all this stuff, what way would you go with Aegon's Conquest?
I think you tied Dude into it now, so it makes me really want to like see that on a grander scale, right? I want to see the kingdoms, the outfits, the dragons, of course, and all of that. Conquering with Aegon. I really would love to see that on the big screen, right? You like that pun there?
Yeah.
I really would like to see that on the big screen and make it more of a. It almost feels like maybe an expansion of the universe because we're breaking out a TV series and moving it to a movie. So I really, really like what you said that they're going to do this animated thing. As long as the product is going to be of quality and not just saturating the universe, and then I'm all down for it. But I would love to experience Game of Thrones in a cinema for sure. Is there any skepticism, I guess, when it comes to making people kind of like get off the couch and go to the movie theaters for this Game of Thrones, or what are we thinking?
I think the best move, like the animated thing's a good move, but I mean, like, let's give a breather. After 2028 and you have the last of the 2 prequels out, let's not make anything for a little bit, guys. Let's get hungry again. Right now, we're all a little bit full. We have 2 Game of Thrones spinoffs coming out this year, and as much as I'm excited about them, I am different than the average viewer. I know that there is oversaturation, like you're talking about, and you have to create the scarcity for there to be a want. So if we're looking at like maybe 2030, maybe we're getting past Secret Wars and you can kind of be the new big thing in town. We know with Aegon's Conquest, there is major battles. There is dragon, you know, the 3 big dragons. One of them, gosh dang, I can't remember. Now I'm saying it, I can't remember. One of the big green dragon that you see in House of the Dragon is from this era. So you see 3 dragons that size fighting, one of them bigger than all of them.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's going to be amaz's Yeah, it starts with a V, and I can't remember it for the life of me right now.
There's Vhagar.
Oh, Vhagar. Yeah, Vhagar.
Yeah,
the big green one. She's the smaller of the 3 dragons in that fight. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Balerion the Black Dread is the biggest one. I think it would be really gorgeous. And you know what? I hate to be a sucker, but let's get Henry Cavill to play Aegon himself. Yeah.
That man can play anything.
Yeah, man, seeing Henry Cavill too in a Game of Thrones thing, that would be wild because he's
in the white hair like the Witcher.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Shit. Thomas, you see the downfall of this potentially being in a movie theater, or do you think it should be maybe just sticking with TV? What do you think?
No, I think you guys are right. I mean, I agree. I think it's cool if they could do it in theater and it have like a totally unique story that you could fit in just one movie. I'm for it. Even if it was like 3 hours long, I'd still go watch it. But I don't know. I'm not super familiar. I didn't read the books. Like, I don't know that character. So is that story compelling enough to have its own movie?
Yeah, I think it'd be
Yes.
kind of scary if it was going to be like a trilogy. Which
I think they would try to make it a trilogy, though. I think they would add it to make it a trilogy.
I know.
Because you could bring in the Baratheons, because Baratheons and Targaryens are best friends at this point. So you could bring them in like the taking of Storm's End and stuff. You can milk out some stuff. We're seeing how much they're milking out a Night of the Seven Kingdoms already. So they could definitely do it for some movies. Except for this time, it's in a big-ass IMAX, and I'm excited.
Yeah. Seeing those dragons though in a theater, like you were saying though, man, that would be incredible. Like I'm so bummed. Even the Stranger Things finale I liked it. I know not everybody liked it, but man, I really am bummed I didn't get to see that in theaters. Like that would have just been cool to see the giant freaking Vecna thing. I'll go watch some dragons in the theater. That'd be insane.
Yeah, the Mind Flayer, like the battle with the Mind Flayer, like coming. That would have been cool to see this way. Yeah, you're right. That'd be cool. Yeah, and even with the big God battle too, it's not just the dragons. It's armies clashing with armies, and at this time, most of the armies or most of the kingdoms were a little bit more angry with each other, and they weren't so united. Aegon, the Conqueror, his whole job is to unite the Seven Kingdoms. So he's like going around conquering. So you're constantly seeing battle versus battle. It would be very hectic, and and then there's the love triangle between him and his two sisters. One of them, which is this like it's Valerian life, guys.
Yeah, I know. That's such a
I'm just saying, my sisters were Targaryen. I mean,
but one of them is like this, like stern war hawk who has an asshole son that's evil. The other one is like this sexy one that he actually loves, and she's kind of fiery and has the son that's like smart and compassionate. And so like you kind of have like it's just a really cool dynamic. Unfortunately, family dynamic, but dynamic. But that would play good too. Even if you were to do a series out of it, like if you milk that part of it out. Would be very interesting because there was times where like Maegor, like when things go down and it's between Maegor and the other one, that's a whole other set of fights that could make for a third movie, really, frankly. So
I'm in.
Yeah, you brought up a Night of the Seven Kingdoms. We ready to talk about this thing?
Let's dive into it. I'm down for that. Yeah, let's we'll jump into that and we'll go back to where we need to go. But yeah.
Okay. So we recently just freshly watched this episode and we'll get initial reactions, but I'll just do a little like knowledge check went out. We do have the main characters, Dunk, whatever. He's basically an orphan, I guess you could say, that was picked up by Sir Arlen of Pennytree.
Pennytree.
Yeah, I don't remember that name. With that, you see it right off the bat. This is no spoilers, but he's bearing his Sir, I think is what the term that they're calling him. And he picks up like, hey, I'm a knight. I've been knighted before. We'll get into the series, actually. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. And then he picks up a little squire along the way.
Yeah,
like his name's Egg. Pay attention. The Egg, but this is where, and he basically that's a little bit about not too much of a backstory of him. He's basically an orphan that was picked up and becoming a headshot.
We're gonna keep a little spoiler free in the beginning, so if you guys want to jump up ahead, it's fine. There's notes in the description of this episode, by the way, guys. Our timestamps. You can always just click around to wherever you want to go. But let's go to that initial reaction. I'll jump off first. It's good to be in Westeros again, right? I'm digging Westeros again. Just the beautiful panning shots and like the dirtiness of the fairground in Ashford and stuff like that. That's all fun to see again. I will say was something that I knew was coming. I wasn't sure I was going to land, and it did not land well for me. Is the over the top attempt to push humor into a story that has some humor when you're reading it, because the idea that the whole thing is like Dunk is thick as a castle wall. It's because he's stupid. And so it makes sense, but it doesn't play too well for me. What did you think about the humor?
Oh man, it caught me off guard initially. So the first scene where, you hear that Game of Thrones background music.
I just love that cut.
Cut so to the smart. Critics. And this is just him just shitting himself. And it's like legit ass sticking out of the tree shitting. So I didn't laugh because it just now I'm laughing about it, but it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting.
It's supposed to, yeah.
I heard the show was going to be funny, and now the things that are like popping up and conversations and whatever dialogue were to happen that is funny, I see myself now laughing about it because now I know what this tone is going to be, and I love that it's a little different than the normal Game of Thrones.
Very much.
It's expansion of the universe and making new things with it, and it feeling more of a comedic relief, but I know we're going to have some serious tones, so those serious tones are probably going to feel more deeper. It's
what we ask out of Marvel all the time, right? We always ask Marvel to hey, do more genres within Marvel stuff, because I want to see the detective movie. I want to see the spy movie. And that's kind of what, like, hey, if we're not happy with this, and they're trying right now, right? Kathleen Kennedy promise. And yeah, that initial thing was really very much telling the fans, like, oh, I mean, you could imagine if you were just not knowing Duncan Egg and the swelling music of, oh, we're here. And as soon as you see him shitting, you're like, oh, what? This is totally different. And it's jarring on purpose. Yeah. But then, yeah, going forward, there was some like slapstick stuff that's like, okay, you have to embrace it. For the book readers, though, I do want to say a lot of the dialogue that's internal is very kind of jokey because he is stupid. So I think that's some of the things, too, is like you have to remember that you can't have internal dialogue in a show. You have to show it happening. So it makes sense there.
Okay. I feel like you guys sold me on it, though, because I don't know anything about this story. I only know the Game of Thrones. I only know House of the Dragon. I did know it was supposed to be a little funny, but it sounds like, oh, it's fun. Like they're going for jokes here. There's some bits.
Yeah, there are some bits. That's a good way to do it. Yeah.
They do it in a good way where it's not thrown in the face or trying to force the humor on it. Like I like just simple conversations, like when Duncan went to the head of the tournament or whatever to try to like get in the tournament. Right. And just that dialogue back and forth of the guy
whole time he's like spitting his chew out the whole time.
Like,
or whatever. Yeah.
Just doing massive like snorting sounds and spitting, and like it's so subtle, but it just works good. It's just like little chuckles here and there. Yeah,
even like Lionel Baratheon, they expanded on that character. He's not played very big in the first, but then they're making him almost like, he reminds me somehow of like Jack Sparrow, of just like such a charismatic person that you want to watch them do things. Right. And you right away you're like, oh, Lionel, which no spoilers for the future, but he is kind of this like very famous knight that is, he's called the Laughing Storm because he's known for laughing at people that he beats. So you can imagine he's the jock, you know, and so playing that character and expanding on that character, I think is only going to help the wider world of Westeros, because this guy who's dancing with Dunk and he's making jokes, he's the grandfather of Robert Baratheon that we know from Game of Thrones. So you kind of see how Robert Baratheon's this party animal that we see in that show because his grandfather is. He's a party animal too.
Yeah, really like that comparison. I think that was dead on, because at first he's so serious and then he kind of like lightens or gets drunk, lightens up a little bit. But I could definitely see that going back and forth. Yeah, I like that.
Awesome.
What do we? So I don't know if anybody noticed, but I'm cosplaying as Egg today. What do we think of that, the little kid?
You know what? I think you did that last time though too. So I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's so little of him in this. Well, not so little, but there's so little about him, I guess you could say.
Right.
But I mean, so far there's no issues. I really like the persistence of him, just like, meeting up at his campsite when he's at the tournament. But I kind of like him just goofing around with the horses. He's supposed to be the stable boy and just playing around with them instead of actually tending to them. So far there's really no complaints with me with this first episode.
I think the casting in general is very solid right now.
Yeah.
Dunk is doing just enough of that kind of like, he's honorable because you don't know how to be conniving. Like he learned honor and he's like, all knights are honorable, right? And the rest of them are like, it's very much Brienne of Tarth. He is the ancestor of Brienne of Tarth. He's very much so you kind of see it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not a spoiler. It's,
you don't think so?
I don't know. I'm just gonna say it. We're not saying who Egg is yet, so that's the main spoiler.
Okay.
But yeah. Overall, solid start. I'm excited to see the rest of it. I felt far too short. As soon as those credit rolls, I was like, guys, there's what? Like, you just got to the very beginning of the book. It's crazy.
And that might be a positive thing. I think I like that it's only going to be a 40-ish area.
Yeah.
That might be pretty nice. Yeah.
Was there any like end credit stuff where like they go into the directors? You know, we get that from like House of Dragon, or was there none of that?
There was, but my damn thing skipped it, so I couldn't get back to it too. It was so weird.
Is that weird?
I hate that it did that.
Why do they do that?
I only watched the upcoming stuff. That was because I was like, oh man, it's already over. I want to see more. And then I watched the like, hey, coming soon, which I never watched because I never want to spoil anything. I don't even watch trailers sometimes for certain things. Yeah, but I was like, I just want more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So if you guys like Game of Thrones and you just want something different, but in that world, this is a whole lot smaller story. The entire thing takes place in the town of Ashford, and it's no dragons. At this time, dragons don't exist because they're gone already, and so it's all jousting. And this goes out to Aaron from Fandom Portals. I love you, buddy. He's a big fan of Knight's Tale. I'm a big fan of A Knight's Tale. A Knight's Tale came out in 2001. The book for this came out in 98. So this predates A Knight's Tale. It will feel like A Knight's Tale, though. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. So, yeah.